first time camping with my special guest and her honest reaction. I'm Patti Hunt, and you're listening to the RV Life Podcast. What made you say yes when I asked you to come camping with me?
Honestly, I know that you wouldn't bring me on anything that I can't handle, and also if you can handle it, then I can too. And I have been wanting to come stay at a campground for a while now, so I have been very excited to come live the RV life.
Today's guest is very special to me, and if you didn't already pick up on it, Emily is my daughter, and she is the youngest, so I wasn't sure how she'd handle camping, and this has been a learning experience for both of us. Today we're going to take you through what her thoughts were before the idea of camping, how she managed camping, what things she enjoyed, what things she didn't, and you're going to hear at the end whether or not she is going to go camping ever again. Open Roads Resort is a great place to go camping because they have 5 amazing locations in Idaho, Nebraska, New Mexico, and 2 locations in Texas. All of these locations are highly favored on campgrounds.rvlife.com, and they are highly favored by you, the RVers. And you can check out everything about these 5 campgrounds by going to campgrounds.rvlife.com or openroadresorts.com. Now, Emily, as I said, is my daughter. She is the youngest. I honestly didn't think of her as a camper, being out in nature. Sorry to say that, but as anybody, we change. I don't know that anybody would have thought I ever would have wanted to go out and do the camping or RV life. So welcome, Emily, to the RV Life Podcast.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. And so I like my listeners to hear a little bit about you. So tell a little bit about you and your experience in the past with camping, RVing.
So I just want to say this is really not my first time camping, because the last time I went camping, I think I was 14. I was in 8th grade and it was with a school trip, and we went to it was a summer camp, but they let our whole school come for a few days, and we stayed in log cabins and bunk beds, and honestly I remember never ever wanting to leave there. And yes, I'm scared of bugs. Yes, sometimes I have a little bit of a problem with dirt, but I think that's just part of me getting acclimated, because honestly I am always fantasizing about running away and living in the woods and trying to figure out how to start a fire and live off of squirrels and whittle an arrowhead.
Wait. Live off of squirrels?
Maybe a deer. I've been.
Wow. Okay, so this is going to be real, authentic. This is news to me. And again, can I say how old you're going to be?
Sure. Yeah,
like these millions of listeners.
That's fine.
Millions,
yeah, I don't.
Emily's going to be 27 in a month from the time this is posted. And, as a mom, I have lots of kids and grandkids, and you have these expectations. So you're saying things that I didn't think of. And when I think of camping, so for my listeners, let me just go back. Some of my listeners are full-time RVers, they're part-time RVers. They're thinking about going RVing or camping. So RVers, people who stay in an RV, go camping. And this is for listeners that are trying to get acclimated to what these words mean. I just want to clear some things up. So as an RVer, I went camping. It was just I stayed in my RV, if that makes sense, just to clear that up. I didn't necessarily think of you as a camper. The one time I took you camping was in a tent. You were about 8 or 9, maybe.
So what happened that
you don't
remember? I remember having a good time.
You want me to say that? I just remember you not liking bugs and being a little more high maintenance. I'm sorry.
But did I have fun?
Did you have fun? So we stayed in that tent. It was probably 12 hours. We came in the late afternoon. We were in somebody's backyard. we packed up the next day and we had breakfast and we left. And so, well, this is a good conversation. I'm glad we've done this. I'm glad we're having this conversation because we're going to talk about how this weekend went. We've been here for the whole weekend. So let's get into it. And this is a good message for people. I have a lot of RVers, campers that say, well, I'm waiting for my kids to be grown, or I don't think the kids would like it, or how will they meet friends? I've done lots of episodes. So even my preconception obviously is wrong. So again, thank you. I'm glad we've done this. I'm really, really happy about this. But let's talk about it. So on our way here, you were talking about camping. Your idea of camping before we came here, you just were saying was more what I call roughing it. So what do you see, like, ultimately what camping would be like?
I mean, I would love to pick like a temperature normal day that's not super cold. It's only like in the, I would say, upper 50s, and for some reason I am not handling it well. I have been in this and then a whole fluffy blanket when we're all out together, when we're not in the camper. But honestly, I have always, since the time that you left me behind.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
let's talk about this time I left her behind. It was
so
traumatic.
I have been wanting to go camping since I was little.
But let's share with our listeners. So I'll start the story and you could talk about how you felt about being left behind. And again, it's a good thing for people to realize perception, and it's great because I'm always about having open communication. So Dan and I have 5 kids together, as a lot of my listeners know. For those of you who don't, there's 5 of them. And we all decided we were going to go camping. Dan and his son and daughter have been camping quite a bit, and we're talking intense. So the idea was we were going
intense.
Okay, TENT, tense is where we were going. So it was the 4 kids, and then 2 of them had girlfriend or boyfriend. So there were 6 kids, and Emily was being dropped off with her dad so that we could go camping. And we were in Pennsylvania and we just went to the Poconos. And literally Emily went with her dad and was crying. You could talk about that. But I felt like you were little, you were afraid of bugs, you were afraid of the dark, and being in tent. You had to go in a tent. You had to go to a bathhouse to go to the bathroom and then that kind of thing. So I just felt like she wasn't ready. She wouldn't want to do it. And with all of these kids, what was I going to do if you had a meltdown? So how did you feel about being left behind? And it sounds like you're saying that was your, hey, I want to do this.
And that was the last time they ever all went camping together. So now here I am, 20 years later, and she still thinks that I'm going to be scared because... So my advice is, if you have a kid that you're worried about, or just an adult that you're worried about bringing with you, if they are interested in it, let them have a meltdown. Let them come out and have a horrible time. Because and now I sound like I'm 50 years older than I am, but I see so many kids that just don't want to get off of their devices. But whenever they have the opportunity to go outside, they don't care about the device anymore. And I think that everybody should be pushed a little bit, because as soon as she asked me if I wanted to go camping, I didn't ask where. I didn't even know if it was going to be in a camper yet. I was like, yep, I'm in. I'm just craving getting out of my house, not listening to my computer in the corner of my room. Maybe that's a weird thing, but I'm the kind of person that can hear electricity, and it just bothers me to be inside all the time. So, I mean, we have access to electricity here, but being a little bit off the grid is just very refreshing, and I'm very happy that I came.
That is incredible advice. And again, for anybody who's new to the RV Life podcast, I do have this in front of me. I have to get my sponsors in. It is not scripted. We did not have a conversation before this, like what we're going to talk about. But that is right there. And that piece of what she just said will be a clip in itself because that is incredible advice. And we even talked about, there are 5 grandkids that are in our area, and a lot of them, we were talking about it, on devices all the time. And as you just said, they get outside, they forget the devices. And we even talked about bringing them camping. So that's something we're going to do in the summer. Yes, it's been cold here. I mean, it has been chilly and dreary, and we still had an amazing time. So we were here invited to the Girl Camper Kickoff Weekend. This is, the time of this recording is the first weekend in April. We are at Spacious Skies Country Oaks in Dorothy, New Jersey. And I just have to give a shout out to them because I just felt welcomed from the moment I walked in the door. This place is amazing. And I want to talk a little bit about this place because I'm always looking to share with my audience amazing places. There will be a little bit of a video campground review, but again, keeping in mind it is April. Things have not started blooming yet. It was cold and rainy and dreary here, but if you could use your imagination, and in a month from now, it'll be green and lush. The pool will be opened, and just keep that in mind because, again, this place is just incredible. So let's talk a little bit, first of all, about this place. Let's give a shout out to Spacious Skies Country Oaks. This campground is in the woods. It is more, I don't know if rustic is the word. Primitive is definitely not the word.
No, that is not the word.
No. So they have, let's just talk about what it is. You could go online, you could check out their pictures, going to Spacious Skies Campgrounds with an S.com, and you can find all of their campgrounds. But there are full hookups. It is a gravel level site. There's a picnic table, there's a fire pit, but it is in the woods, and it is not your cement sites that some of you want. So I just want to be clear. I love this type of environment. I truly love this type of environment. Okay, so that's the campground. We were here invited because Girl Campers, who I did an interview with, you could see that on the podcast. I'll put the episode in the show notes. Also, there will be video of it on my new YouTube channel, Inspired Travels with Patti. A lot of information here. But I was invited by Girl Campers. I've known Janine Pettit for... Janine Pettit, I always say her name wrong, for years. And she said, hey, we're having this event. And I just said yes. I didn't know what it was, didn't know what to expect. It is a girls' event. So I told you about the event. What did you think? Let's talk about the event. What did you think of that?
Listen, I didn't know what to expect, but I have decided that wherever the girl campers go, I want to follow them.
That's awesome.
They just sucked me in, and now my mother walked away from me for about 30 minutes last night, and she came back, and I'm like, Mom, I need to get a tent. I need to get a different car. I need to get rid of my car that I got a couple weeks ago, by the way, because I need my Jeep back. Just within 30 minutes, I was inspired to get back in nature again. And I used to have a Jeep Wrangler, so my parents would drive it for me up rock formations and mountains.
So we were in Las Vegas and went up above like Red Rock Canyon, where only Jeep should go, over rocks. Truly rock climbing.
I had the pass. That was my giant tires that I had at the time. But now I'm like, I want that car back because I could attach a little sleeper camper in it. I don't know. They got me all inspired, and I absolutely love every single one of them. I may have been the youngest girl camper, but
you were probably.
I believe I was. I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody, but I'm pretty sure I was the youngest girl camper, but I just love them to death.
And let's talk about what girl campers are for people who don't know, because I wasn't sure about this either. So girl campers is just that. They are ladies who want to go out and camp. They camp solo, but then they get together with groups of people like we did this weekend. What I didn't realize, most of these women, I was told, are married, and some have relationships, whatever that looks like. this is, or families, young kids, they have families, they have jobs that they go to. This is their way to escape, to get away. And one of the stories that somebody told me, and I won't give names or details, but they were going through a hard time. And this was a way to escape, to sit with some of the ladies, to talk about it, to vent, to cry. And it's not all about that. I mean, they were having a great time laughing together. We had food together, so we brought, our meals and got together and had food. Some of it is structured, some of it is, I'm going to a winery today, who wants to go with? So any kind of activity, anything you want to do, you could pair off. The Girl Campers, as I said, there's a whole podcast episode on it, but they have different chapters in different states. You could go to any of the chapters, and I'm just going to have you check it out on girlcamper.com. We obviously highly recommend it. And you just find your people that you want to be with and talk to. I talked to so many ladies this weekend. So that made it just an incredible experience. And given the fact that it was cold and we were sitting outside, we sat outside and we just bundled up. But I didn't want to miss the camaraderie and the conversation and people encouraging each other and people explaining different things and helping. And if you said, hey, I'm not sure how to hook up the RV to the sewer, somebody would have been there to help. So it's been amazing. I have to just pause here because I want to talk about my sponsor, Blue Compass. And when you're an RVer, you want to know someone is with you every mile, whether it's sales or service. That someone is Blue Compass RV, with more than 100 locations coast to coast and 1,000 service bays, with more certified RV technician than any other dealer. Blue Compass RV is with you today, tomorrow, and the road ahead. Visit your local Blue Compass RV dealer or go to bluecompassrv.com today. Now let's talk a little bit about it. Again, just to give my new listeners, some background information. I started full-time RVing 4 years ago, and my husband and I were in a 40-foot Class A RV. It had a lot of amenities in it, I've got to say. I picked that RV mostly because there was a place to put my espresso machine, because I had to have my cafe mocha every morning. So that was my priority. It had a refrigerator for my milk and all. That's what I call amenities, right? Shower and all of that. Now, I have since, over the last year, sold the RV and have been traveling for the last year by flying or driving and staying in cabins. I stayed in a yurt, and this weekend, we stayed in a retro RV. And this little RV is so cute. I did some pictures of it that you can see on the YouTube channel. I am looking at ways to stay without an RV. I'm not sure I want to go tent camping. If you get the tent, if you get the stuff, Emily, I will go with you.
I already have a tent, actually.
You have the tent?
I have, every piece of camping supplies because my roommate is a camper, so there's really nothing we have to wait
holding
for.
me back, so I'm going to have to go tent camping. And my roommate has sleeping bags. There we go.
Let's go.
So now I will be going to a Target or Amazon and ordering an inflatable mattress. I'm a little old to be sleeping on not old, that's terrible. My back.
I'm a little old to be sleeping on the ground.
So we're going to get a nice air mattress.
Or a foam roll-up.
All you have to do is get an air mattress with a pump, and
it's true. I just feel like I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to be on the ground.
You have to get a good air mattress. I've had that happen. That is an issue. So we're going to go tent camping. I'm going to continue visiting campgrounds like this and staying in yurts and cabins. They have cool little log cabins here that you can stay in, and I'll get some video of that. So I guess if I'm going to go somewhere and stay in a cabin, you're going to go with me. You're my side rider person now, whatever we're calling it. And yes, I will commit that over the summer, I will do tent camping. We just have to plan it weather-wise, because while it's cold now, it's going to get really hot.
We can do an episode
We absolutely can.
And we can find the perfect spot to tent camp.
That's right.
I'm pitching things into your show now.
So, yes, that's great thinking. We will find a perfect spot to tent camp. It sounds like I've made a commitment here on the show, so you guys are witnesses. So this camper, as you saw, if you saw the video, there is a queen size bed over here. And there is a bunk on this side, and it's one of those bunks that you feel like you're in a space capsule, as you called it. And, you know, what was your choice of the top bunk or the bottom bunk? What'd you choose?
So I chose the top bunk because no real good reason. Just when I was younger, I always liked sleeping on the top bunk whenever I had an option. I like feeling high up and perched and in my little zone. Like, there's really no good reason for it. However, I did notice that the bottom bunk is taller by quite a bit, like about half a foot, I would say. And the one thing that sort of got me was every time I had to sit up, or I don't know, I apparently stretch my arms out a lot. The only thing is that I kept hitting the sides, but that was just the first night, and I got used to it really fast. And I love my little cozy nook. Honestly, I slept great in there, and I didn't want to leave. I was kind of worried about claustrophobia when I first got here. My bedroom at home is huge. I live in a suburb, and I just have a lot of space that I take for granted on a regular basis, but I honestly loved feeling cozy in my little nook and not having to deal with the overwhelm of like a bunch of stuff and where to put everything. So I had a great time.
We talked about the RV experience, camping experience. We really didn't talk about you. Do you want to share like your background, who you are, what you do? Because you have a pretty flexible schedule, so we can pick up and go camping whenever we want, really.
So I do have the flexibility to just leave my house whenever I want to. I don't work a 9 to 5. I do astrology and psychic readings full time, and I also sew clothes, and I make customized clothing for people that I upcycle from stuff that I get from the thrift stores. And yeah, I can just take my little sewing kit with me. I mean, that might change if I was in a tent. I think most of the time I prefer to just get away if I'm getting away and take a break.
Check out, like early check.
Yeah, but I am able to bring what I do with me, and it's so fun because everywhere I go, I meet people who end up saying, oh, let's either trade, I'll do a reading for you, or I'll make you something, and you give me an astrology reading, tell me what the heck is going on in my life right now, and it's a good time.
I know you're working on your website. When you have that up and running, we will put in the show notes where to reach out to Emily. And as listeners know, if you're new, you can reach out to me, and certainly I'll get messages to Emily, but reach out to me. I'd love to hear your comments, questions you have, questions for me or Emily, on RV Life Podcast at Instagram or Facebook. Love to hear from you, so please do that. Okay, I think we've covered a lot here. It's now time for the question of the week. I'm going to ask you this question. We did not talk about this beforehand, honestly. I'm going to ask the question, then give you a minute to think about it, and then I'll come back and get your answer, okay? So the question of the week is brought to you by Cool RV, and the question is, what would be on your bucket list of a place you'd like to go or experience you'd like to have? So take a minute and think about that. Cool RV adventure should be cool and quiet, not hot and noisy. Meet Cool RV, the revolutionary RV air conditioner upgrade that gives you cool air, more airflow, and whisper quiet performance. And the best part, it is just $84.95 with free ground shipping. Stay comfortable without breaking the bank. Upgrade your RV today and enjoy the chill without the roar. Cool RV. Stay cool, stay quiet, stay adventuring. Order now at koolrv.com, and that's KOOL RV.com. There is a link in the show notes. So Emily, you've had a lot to think about this weekend for sure. you have something that you've put on your bucket list, and will you be making a bucket list at this point?
So I do have a place that I have wanted to visit for a long time. This is where some of our ancestors come from, but also as a fan of Dracula, I have always wanted to visit the Transylvanian mountains in Romania.
Oh, didn't see that coming at all.
But if you have ever seen a picture of these mountains, it is stunning over there. It just looks like a fairy tale. The mountains are beautiful. There's big trees. There's so many log cabins, and I would do anything to visit. And by that, I mean I would buy a plane ticket and then go there. So I will make that happen someday.
That's incredible. And every week on the show, I ask people what's on their bucket list. Of course, we know each other. Obviously, did not see that coming at all. Not at all. Again, leave a comment. Anybody ever think of going there? I've never had any of my guests say anything like that. So would love to hear your comments on that one. It's now time for the feature campground of the week, and it's brought to you by RV Life. It's the RV Life suite of products includes RV campground reviews. This week's feature campground is Thousand Trails Sea Pines RV Campground in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. And that's not far from where we are right now at Spacious Skies Country Oaks. This is 1,000 trails, and you don't need to be a member to stay there. The campground offers lots of amenities and activities, and it's close to all areas of the Jersey Shore. They have full hookups, waterfront sites, and for people like me, they have rentals for people like you. And I'm not sure if they do tents. So some campgrounds don't do tent sites, so we'd have to find that out if we're going to tent. They have an 8.1 rating on the RV Life Campground review site with 26 reviews. It is so easy to go find out all there is to know about this campground or any other. You go to campgrounds.rvlife.com, enter Thousand Trails Sea Pines RV Campground, and once you're there, you can see a ton of photos, the tips, the full list of amenities about this property. Everything you need to know about this property will be there. And the reviews are by RVers, and that's what I love about this review site. RV Life Campgrounds is part, like I said, of the RV Life suite of products, and it's the most comprehensive source of RV parks, campgrounds, resorts, as well as city, state, national parks, Corps of Engineer properties, and more. And that is campgrounds.rvlife.com. But if you are not already a member, go to the link in the show notes and you get 25% off. This suite of products is worth, the full price is $65 a year. With the 25% off, it's under $50, and it is well worth it. Okay, so Emily, we will put in the show notes where people could reach you. We'll put in the show notes if you want to add social media, whatever it is you want to add, that'll all be in the show notes. And I want to thank you so much for not only being on the RV Life podcast, but hanging out with me for the whole weekend, running camera for me, and I'd say making sure my hair worked, but my hair just, we're camping. It is not, hair is not working. For those of you that are going to go to the YouTube channel and see it, but you were a big help, and I appreciate it. But most important, it was an incredible weekend. I learned a lot about something more about who you are and the fact that this is something you want to do. So thank you for being on the show with me.
Thank you for having me. I had a really good time.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And I want to thank you, my listeners. And remember, life's a journey. Live each day to the fullest without regrets. I'm Patti Hunt, and you've been listening to the RV Life Podcast.